Hey Gemini! Happy birthday to each and every one of you celebrating. I hope you're getting spoilt rotten and you're having an amazing birthday month. I've no doubt that the year ahead is going to bring pretty good things your way, if not quite a few years ahead, to be honest with you, as the lunar nodes are transiting or have, what am I talking about? They've already transited into Gemini and Sagittarius. So you lot are under some pretty intense changes. And I'm actually feeling quite excited about pulling some energy for you to see what the year ahead brings. What let's say opportunities could be presenting themselves that you can really embrace and make some positive shifts in your life in the way that you would like to. So let's have a look and see. I'm going to start off with pulling a card to see what your current energy is looking like, as well as, you know, what's on the forecast for you, okay? So let's have a look. Gemini. Oh my gosh, Gemini, I just got a massive head spin. I'm feeling big downloads about to come my way. Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. What messages do we have for Gemini? For the year ahead. Birthday messages for Gemini. Desperate. Oh, wow. You will soon start to feel relief about this situation. Not particularly the way I was hoping to start the reading, and to be honest with you, when I was channeling your energy, because I've already shuffled, cleansed and meditated on your energy, Gemini, and I've got to tell you that this is not a bad vibe. I wasn't getting a heavy vibe. So when I pull this card out and I look at it, I actually don't feel the energy of desperation as we know it. What I'm feeling is that intense push towards that finish line. I want you to imagine a sprinter when they're completely fatigued, you know, or someone that's running a marathon and they're right at the end. You know how we see those marathon runners where they just simply can't go anymore and they collapse, and then someone comes along the way and they pick them up and they cross the finish line together. This is the type of energy I'm picking up from this card. I'm talking about a long period of sheer exhaustion, of karmic debts, recycling themselves again and again and again, lessons being repeated, patterns, behaviors, not being able to connect the dots. And finally, I feel that you've reached the point and Spirit has pushed you to your absolute limits where it's brought you to your knees. And now is the time where I feel you're breaking free. You are moving into this year, Gemini, I feel, with a completely different set of glasses on. Completely different lenses. This is the type of energy where you look back at yourself 5, 6 years ago. Do you know what? Let's go 7 years ago. Number 7 comes to mind. Don't know why. If resonates with someone, please do comment below. But 7 years ago, this is a cycle that started and it has been the most exhausting. You felt the most resistance. It's pushed you to your limits where you've really had to apply resourcefulness. You've had to dig really deep and draw on emotions such as compassion, empathy. You've had to pull out patience quite a bit, and just focus and sheer determination to reach the goals you wanted to reach. And not only the goals, but to stand firm in your belief system. To stand firm by what it was that you wanted to, what that end result was, that goal, to stay on target. And I feel that you've come to the point now where you're collapsing, you're about to, you know, you've reached the limit and the finish line is just there. And it's when we see the finish line that we generally feel that we can't go any longer or any further. And that's when we've really got to pull out our reserve supply. And your reserve supply might be people, family, or friends. Now is the time to really accept help as you can see the finish line so you can make it across. Okay, now you may feel that you're going to get that second wind. You know, you may also feel that it's time to rest. You may be experiencing a lot of headaches. You might be experiencing a lot of fatigue and a lack of focus. Not to say that you're not feeling positive or you're not feeling like the future's bringing amazing things. I'm just sensing this really intense energy of exhaustion, ready to put the cycle that was behind you, and just this really, how can I word it? Uneasy feeling. Like you can't sit still type of thing. You can't, stay focused for too long. And that's because you're in that transition. You might not be sleeping well. And I'm getting this calling that it's really time to just sit with the emotion, try and rest, try and meditate. Try it out for a day where you do nothing at all and just go with the flow, on your own. That might be helpful. So let's pull out a couple of cards and let's have a look at what the overall energy is like for you guys. Okay. Oh my gosh, don't fall. Oh dear. Okay, the end. The end, this is what I'm getting. Painful experiences, painful cycles, where you really tried to cling on to the memories of deceit, feelings of resentment, feelings of lack, feelings of mental torture. You know what I mean? So where you've dealt with situations that have consumed the headspace and have caused you to close off your heart space. This is that feeling of desperation, that relief is about to come. This is about the ending of this. And I feel that it has to do in multiple areas of your life. You know what I'm getting, Gemini? I'm getting that feeling when we're young and innocent. And slowly, as we start to experience life and see that not everybody operates the same way we do, we start to close off part of ourselves because we don't know how to deal and work around those situations. So what I'm feeling has happened is you've been dealt with so many of these situations where people have disappointed you in so many different areas of your life, and it's been repeated again and again, that you've had no choice but to face the fact that I need to work through this. I need to find solutions. I can't just block my heart. And that is that feeling of exhaustion and desperation, where you've reached the point where you're like, okay, so family and friends, I've finally found a way to work with that and put up my boundaries. Intimate relationships, gee, I've really gone through it there. So now I know where I stand. I know where I put my boundaries there. I can't block my heart because it prevents my forward movement. Work, how you invest yourself at work, how much of yourself you invest, and what's been reciprocated as a whole. So this is the energy that you're finally coming to, where you've really matured, you've grown up, you've experienced different scenarios, you've tried to suppress it, you've tried to overcome it by stepping over it, but you have been forced to work through each one of those aspects because you saw that you continually were repeating behaviors and cycles that you did not want to repeat anymore. And you're healing. It's finally there. Your wishes are coming true. This is beautiful. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That is coming to an end. Whatever these swords were, you're pulling them out, and where those wounds are, you're the one that is that is tending to your own wounds. Absolutely beautiful energy. And you remember when you started this cycle 7 years, I don't know, 7, it's just a number. It could be 3 for you, it could be 2, but I'm feeling it's a lot longer than that. If you think about it, think about where you were 7 years ago and where you are today, okay? So there may have been a catalyst back then. That's why I say that. But yeah, so now you remember and you're like, yeah, I still have that same goal in mind. However, my perceptions changed, my belief systems expanded, and my goal, while my why is still the same. No, my goal is still the same, but my why has expanded. My goal is still the same, but my why has expanded and it has shifted. Why I am doing this is slowly starting to change. I hope that makes sense. So let's have a look at what's going on. That's the overall message. I want to pull out a couple of cards for the career. So what I'm getting here, Gemini, is that a lot of the toxic energy that you were experiencing, a lack of, you really, even though there were certain aspects of your roles throughout the years, or there were certain aspects of your, let's say, businesses, wherever you worked, however it fits for you, that really brought you joy and you really wanted to invest in, that's where it kind of stopped, that you really wanted to invest in. It was like, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. That's all, that's as far as it got. You found it really difficult to make progress without really having to apply yourself. There was a lot of resistance career-wise, and it had a lot to do, I think, with an element of passion. I feel that the roles that you were involved in may not have aligned with your spiritual drive or your heart space, the passion within those areas. And so you found a lot of resistance because it's a lot harder to get up in the morning when your mission and your vision and your purpose does not align with what you're doing. And so throughout these years, as that cycle has closed off, I'm feeling that you went through a lot of energies of questioning your own power, your own ability to carry things out, to your staying power. Maybe you were changing a lot of jobs, changing your mind a lot, found a lot of dissatisfaction, and your self-worth. Maybe you felt like you didn't bring enough to the table. You felt that you didn't align with the people that you worked with, or their vision didn't align with yours. Whatever the case was, it made you really question your confidence. It made you question your ability to learn and apply yourself and just get it. It was almost like everyone got it and you couldn't quite get on that vibe that they were on. Kind of all those miscommunications on what the expectation was. And the message I'm getting here is that there's this realization that you can't align with something that you actually don't find that emotional fulfillment in, and this is the realization you're coming to, that you realize that when you do have, you're having that realization now, you're having that clarity moving forward that, you know what, I do have the staying power. I do know how to apply myself. I do have the tools. I have a purpose. I don't I have a reason to take up space here. And the space that I take up is worth it, because I bring a lot of value to my workplace, to the people I work with and the people I work for, or the clients that I collaborate with. And I'm going to continue working with my greatest assets through this experience here. I feel you've really discovered what your assets are. You really discovered what your gifts are. And you're using those gifts and harnessing them and channeling them into anything you do now. And it is really paying off. And it is shedding clarity on the situation that, you know what? I am getting in my own way from here on if I allow my own insecurities cloud my judgment, if I allow my own insecurities to hold me back from it being just a dream to bringing it to fruition. If the job doesn't align with my vision, that's okay. I have such a clear vision now that I know what type of job would fit me, business would fit me, and I'm going to pour my heart into it. Beautiful energy. So let's have a look at what the heart space says. What does love bring for you? What does love bring for you? More, and it fell on the ground. Gemini, I feel you're in complete control here. Complete control. It's your call moving forward. It is completely your call. Nothing is going to hinder your personal growth, your professional growth, your spiritual growth, and your emotional growth. Nothing is going to get in the way of that. There's only two ways with you, Gemini. It makes sense and it fits my style. It fits the way I do things. Happy to compromise, don't get me wrong. Absolutely not happy to force it though. If it does not flow, it's gone. It's out. Bye-bye. It's a done deal with you. You have recognized that, you know what? I have paid my debts. I have learnt my lessons. I have dug deep. I've done the work. I know what I want, and I know what, I'm now tuned into my intuition to the point where if it tells me that something's not flowing, guess what? It's not flowing. And I'm not going to force it because it only hinders my growth in every aspect of my life. And so you're moving forward with determination, with passion, and you're sending that message out loud and clear. And there is a lot of passion behind that message, Gemini. There's a lot of force behind that message. And because of that force that you have created, that's coming from the core essence of your being, you're literally setting out so much focused intention, which is exactly how you manifest things into your reality. And you're starting to pull that energy out from the ether and bringing it into fruition. And you're creating an amazing new beginning when it comes to love, an amazing new beginning that leaves nothing to the imagination. There is no illusion moving forward. So whether you're in a union at the moment, whether you are in a situationship, whether you are single and looking for love, or happily single but ready to date, whatever the case is, moving forward, if things prove to be too difficult, if they prove to be, there's too many gray areas, things that don't make sense, you are going to take control. You're going to cut it out of your life because it creates that toxicity. It blocks your energy from bringing things into fruition. This is an absolutely beautiful message, very general. I'm not going into great detail today, but there is the positive side of all of this is that there are new beginnings, life-altering beginnings in every aspect of your life. And the common theme here is what you're leaving behind is this feeling of desperation. And you're heading towards a place of complete healing, complete clarity, complete closure. Okay, so that's absolutely beautiful. I love this. Very powerful. All right, Gemini, let's see which angel we have for you today and what the message is before I close this out for you. I can't take all those. There's just too many. I just need one. I just need one. One more shuffle. There's two. Oh, I'm so sorry. How annoying is that? I'm so sorry. Metatron, the recording angel. Very, very powerful card. Advancement and progress teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life. Records events in the book of life. This is the angel that literally records history. And this is what I feel. History, your journey, and your karmic debts that needed to be repaid in this lifetime were already recorded. And you somehow have been able, this is how powerful this message is, you have somehow been able to pay them off at this point. And here you are now. The wheel is turning. Advancement and progress. There is only one way for you, and that way is up. It's time for you to live on the other side of that scale. Whatever debt you had from your past life, from this life, has now been finished. It's now been done. Well, the Geminis that I'm connecting with anyway. Wow, absolutely beautiful. And you know what? When I look at this card, Gemini, what I see is everything is going to be okay. You know, the angel's holding up his hands. Everything's going to be okay. Have faith. Have faith. You know, Spirit wouldn't give you more than you can handle. And this is an archangel, I believe. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed that message, Gemini. I wish you all the best. Very strong reading, and I didn't expect anything less, to be honest with you. I was getting very clear messages. The channeling was channeling was open. I could feel a steady flow of energy coming through. The messages were coming through crisp and clear, as was the vocabulary, which tells me that's exactly how you're feeling. Exhausted though. I feel that you need to take some time on your own. I know, we can't exactly go on holidays at the moment, but it doesn't really mean that you can't, I guess, where possible, if possible, apply it however it fits to you, hire out a little cottage somewhere, take your favorite books, your coziest blanket, your favorite alcoholic beverage, or your favorite tea, and spend some time just being by yourself, reflecting on what you have achieved so far, resetting, refocusing, becoming inspired by your own self, and really stepping forward with the purpose that you have inside of you. Have an amazing, amazing birthday month. Sending you many, many, many blessings. Bye.